Well, good morning. It's the 17th of September 2020, and welcome to another daily devotional. This morning I was in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, and in this chapter, Paul's talking about his thorn in the flesh. He's saying that the thorn was given to him to stop him from becoming conceited because of surpassingly great revelations that he was having. And in the midst of it, he's asking God, will you take away this thorn? Will you take away this thorn in the flesh from me? And Jesus speaks to him and says, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. That's in verse 9. My grace is sufficient for you because my power is made perfect in your weakness. It's whenever we're weak that God can work through us. Whenever we are strong and whenever everything's together and everything's holding together, sometimes we just get on and do stuff by ourselves, but it's whenever we're weak that we call out to the Lord and the Lord shows his grace towards us. I often used to look at this verse and think to myself, well, Paul, you'll just have to make do with grace. But that's not what Jesus is saying at all, because we've got such a warped understanding of what grace is. We think that sometimes grace is a license for us to be able to do stuff. Oh, well, we've got to give grace to so and so. But that's not what it is at all. Grace is the operational power of God. Grace is God at work within us, giving us the good that we just do not deserve, giving us strength that we can't muster, giving us hope that we don't have. You see, his grace is sufficient for us because his grace is so much stronger than our strength. It isn't, here, you just make do with a little bit of grace and that'll see you through. It's this grace is transformative. This grace is something that gives and gives and gives. This grace has the power of God behind it. So the Lord is saying to Paul, listen, that thorn in the flesh that you're dealing with, my grace can cover it, man. You can still have the strength of God flowing through you because of the grace of God at work within your life. Because I'm giving you grace. My grace is sufficient for you. It's more than sufficient. It's an abundance for us. See, his grace takes our weakness and turns it to strength. His grace takes our weakness and God works through it to show his own glory. And so I want to encourage you today. I don't know how you're feeling. I don't know what sort of day you're having. I don't know where you're at physically. I don't know if you're feeling weak physically. I don't know if you're feeling weak emotionally. I don't know if you're feeling weak spiritually. But ask God to give you grace, because his grace isn't just sufficient for you. His grace is empowering. His grace is strengthening. His grace does miracles. See, his grace is sufficient for us. It isn't just a little bit of grace in there that will do you. He lavishes his grace upon us. It's an overabundance of grace. Because whenever we've got grace working in our life, then his strength gets shown through our weaknesses. This is why Paul could say later on in the passage, for when I am weak, then I am strong. So I want to commend you to the grace of God today, guys. Trust in God's grace. Ask for more of God's grace. Be empowered by God's grace. Because when you're weak, then you're strong. Have a great day.